This week's Friday function is an enhancement in IFS Cloud 23R1 to functionality that was introduced in IFS Cloud 22R2, and it specifically pertains to customers who are using supply allocations and available to promise in conjunction with master scheduling. Master scheduling has been reworked a fair amount in IFS Cloud to make it work more for customers that have their own customer forecasts, which will then drive what they can or can't promise based on the supply allocation associated with the customer. So we're going to show the supply allocation per period and the copy supply allocation function that's been introduced in 23R1. So if we just go from my master scheduling lobby here, I'm just going to drill down through to my Royal Blue 800 milliliters, and then I'm going to go and look at my master schedule that sits beneath that. What we've got now is obviously individual master schedules that go alongside this product. And now we've got a new function in IFS Cloud that allows us to forecast by customer dimension primarily. We can see we've got an individual forecast for each of these customers. And IFS will also calculate what percentage allocation those customers should have based on your settings in master schedule and based on what those forecasts are. But what we're really interested in here is what the supply allocation looks like for each of those periods. Okay, so in our supply allocation per period, the period is set at master schedule level, but this is IFS effectively telling me, and I'll just hide that so we can see a bit more detail, what percentage of the products that I'm making that I've got in stock will be allocated to each customer. So the forecast ratio that we can see here is based on the forecast that the customer has overall and will drive what gets reserved to that customer and what is reserved to others. My user-defined ratio here is the user's opportunity to override that and say that one customer deserves more than another for a certain period. Now, what is new in 23R1 is this new button here, this new function that says copy supply allocation. So this is a simple usability enhancement, basically to make it easier for users to manage that user-defined ratio across multiple periods. So you'll see if I look at August, for example, that's not set. September, not set. October, not set. And at the moment, or before 23R1, I would have to go through each of those individually and update it or use a migration job to do that. If I'm in IFS Cloud 23R1, I hit this copy supply allocation button. I say how many periods I want this to be applied to. So let's say 3 more periods. We'll have the same setup. And all of this will default in from where I'm doing the product, where I'm doing this action, but I can copy the supply allocation and give the application that information as we go through. So I can start it from the navigator. In this instance, I'm doing it obviously from the product. So I'm going to copy that from the July 2023 to the next 3 periods. IFS will post that as a job and run that in the background. And then what we'll see is that this user-defined ratio of 35 and 65% should then be showing in my next periods. There we go. So a quick refresh, and it's showing in August, September, and October, but obviously I said 3 periods, so not November. This usability enhancement really works well for customers that have, maybe 1 or 2 customers buying the same product, but they want to make sure that there's a fair share type allocation and that they have control on where the master scheduling allocation gets made to really drive the available to promise functions and features in IFS Cloud. If you want more detail about this, as always, contact me via LinkedIn, Oliver Franks, or send me an email on ofranks@anthesis.co.uk. That concludes this Friday function. Look forward to the next one. Thank you.